Good people, welcome back to Global Happenings. Today we're so excited to have you again. The issue of Nnamdi Kanu has been overly explained by the American lawyer Bruce Fein, and right now he is playing on the conscience of Ohanaeze and Debo as he writes them a long letter telling them of the deal that Nnamdi Kanu has passed through and what their legitimate duty is, and the fact that they shouldn't be a traitor to the cause of Biafra. We're going to look at detailing the letter that he has sent to Ohanaeze Mdibo. But before we do that, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. And according to the news, Bruce Fein, the American Council for the Detained Leader of Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, has charged the Igbo Apex Sociocultural Group, Ohanaeze and Igbo, to rise up to its moral and legal responsibility as leaders of Biafra. Kanu has been in detention since he was arrested in Kenya and extradited to Nigeria last June. In a letter issued on Tuesday, Fein asked George Obiuzo, President General of Ohanaeze and Debo, to stop keeping silence over Kanu's ordeal. The lawyer tackled the Nigerian government for his client's continued detention, adding that the incessant amendment of charges against him shows they have no case. Fein said Ohanaeze and Debo cannot continue to claim neutrality in the matter when Kanu is being maltreated for pushing for the good of the Southeast. The letter read thus: it said, Nnamdi Kanu is one of you, born on the same soil, raised on the same food, boiled by the same music and dances, and nurtured by the same culture, inspired by the same flag. He has risked that last full measure of devotion, including dodging bullets of would-be assassins to deliver the Biafran people from the cruel oppression and genocide of the Fulani-controlled government of Nigeria, like Moses and Pharaoh in the Old Testament. Last June, Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, tortured for several days, and extraordinarily rendition from Nairobi to Abuja in a criminal conspiracy between Nigeria and Kenya. The conspiracy was part of an ongoing Nigerian genocide of Biafran prohibited by the Genocide Convention. The aim is to exterminate them through killings, plunder, starvation, theft of real and personal properties, and collective denial of livelihood. For nearly a year, Nnamdi Kanu has been punished by indefinite detention in solitary confinement and denied access to needed nutrition, medical care, and counsel of choice in violation of international human rights law and the Nigerian constitution. The Fulani government notoriously honor the constitution in the breach rather than in the observance. Nnamdi Kanu has also been denied his right to a public, prompt and fair trial before an impartial judge. It has become obvious beyond a reasonable doubt that the Fulani zealots have no incriminating evidence against him. They aim to imprison Nnamdi Kanu indefinitely without a trial, praying for either for his death or handing his fraudulent prosecution to the next administration and wash their hand like Pontius Pilate. The Fulani have amended the charges against Nnamdi Kanu 3 times. They remain indefinitely vague. The trespass on the universally recognized international law right of every people to self-determination exalted in Article 1 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and Article 3 of United Nations General Assembly Resolution 61/295, Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. Notwithstanding armies of lawyers and investigators, the Fulani remain unprepared for trial after the lapse of more than 11 months since Nnamdi Kanu detention in Abuja. There still is no trial date. The prosecution climbs to a new level of phase on May 25, 2022. A bail hearing has been set by Justice Binta Nyako for May 26. Bail has been denied on the preposterous theory that Nnamdi Kanu previously jumped bail in September 2017 when he barely escaped an assassination attempt by exercising his inalienable right to self-preservation when Nigerian security forces riddled his home with bullets, murdering many orders. An Aba High Court has awarded Nnamdi Kanu 5 billion naira for the flagrant and notorious violation of fundamental rights. The day before the bail hearing, Justice Nyako announced through the court register that she has become indisposed and has adjourned the case another month to June 28, 2022. Couldn't the justice concoct a better excuse like affiliation or affliction with COVID? Indisposed means a mild illness that passes in days. A more likely explanation is the Attorney General Abubakar Salami acting on the instruction of President Muhammadu Buhari ordering Nyako to again postpone the proceeding because the prosecution has no case. Depend on it without public denunciation of Nnamdi Kanu's continued political prosecution thundering like a hammer on an appeal demanding his release and a dismissal of the manufactured charges with prejudice. The June 28 bail hearing will also be postponed ad infinitum. Nnamdi Kanu cruel punishment without trial will persist in I'll take that again. They say Nnamdi Kanu cruel punishment without trial will persist in notorious violation of the Nigerian Constitution and international law. You collectively have a legal and moral duty to speak out publicly against this transvesty of justice that daily inflict great misery on the Biafran people. Do not become traitors to the noble cause. Risk a tiny fraction of what Nnamdi Kanu has risked to regain Biafran sovereignty. It was stolen by the British over a century ago, and the Fulani have refused to restore it by resorting to genocide. Silence is not acceptable. Neutrality between the firefighters and the fire is not an option. You cannot escape the judgment of history. Show you are made of stainer stuff than quisling. Those way they write up. It's quite a long one, sir, but it's worth listening to. And for those who may not really understand what they're saying, what the American lawyer is saying, he's actually talking to the people of Ohanaeze and sorry, the leadership of Ohanaeze and for immediate intervention over the continuous postponement of the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and to prove that he is actually a part of themselves. They shouldn't allow him to still continue to stay in jail despite the fact that there are proofs everywhere that what he is currently going through is an injustice towards the self-realization or self-determination law in the United Nations and all of that. So looking at the stuff that's talking about the big letter he sent out. What do you think may likely be the response of the Ohanaeze and Libo? Let's interact in our comment section. Thank you very much and stay